The next card you have is the Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups is looking at something with an innocence, with childlike eyes, but very emotional. Aquarius, I feel like this is a time where you're saying, what do I want to round out this year with? What do I want next year to look like? Ooh, and that's exactly what they said. And it's weird. It just gave me chills because it's almost like you're taking this separation or this breakup or this no contact, no communication, little communication, whatever scenario it is for you. And you're going, hey, with the Page of Cups, I can feel sadness and grief and I can get over this, but now there's time to feel joy. Now there's time to feel blessings. And blessings have been a word for a few reads this month that just keep coming up. Like maybe we all need to start counting our blessings a little more, come into next year, just opening up different avenues, opening up more spiritually, opening up to what we want, how we're feeling. Now, the Page of Cups too could be some sort of wiping the slate clean with this other person, either forgiving and moving on or forgiving and possibly, meeting to communicate again or meeting to, it's weird. They said like reintroduce, like meet for the first time in a long time, see each other again. All right. The next card you have is how you're feeling coming into the month. And you have the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is interesting here. The she, which I don't apply sex to the cards, but I say that sometimes because it comes up as queen, is very mysterious. This is otherness. This is somebody who's not letting on. So it's interesting because I think last month your ex was feeling a little like worried about what you were up to. And I feel like you're still kind of holding that up. You're still kind of shielding yourself from, and I don't even know if it's your ex. It could be a lot of people. I feel like you just have been let down by people in general this year, or maybe just over the past few months. Okay. Maybe it's friends, family, and this person in particular. And the Queen of Cups is saying, you're still coming into this month. Like, I'm not letting on. Like, if you want to be in my life, you have to work for it, because Aquarius, and I keep clearing my throat. I'm very sorry, but I've been doing it all night. But the Queen of Cups is saying, look, I have one cup to give. And I've realized now, especially lately, how valuable it is. And I'm not willing to just give it to anybody, including friends, including family. It's like your cup runs over, okay, or runneth over, however they say it. And people have depleted and depleted and depleted it for a long, long time. And a lot of people around you. And I think you finally just had this fucking moment where you went, are you kidding me with this shit? I'm done. Like, I don't need anybody. I don't need any of you guys. Not anybody, but you know what I mean? I have a dog. I have a cat. I have kids. I have people that I do get along with that respect me in all aspects. And I just feel like you're cleaning house. That's what I should title this, like cleaning house. The next card you have is the Four of Cups. This is your distant past. So this definitely says, now it could be this current person that you're thinking about or that you've dealt with or, are separated from. But it could, I feel like it's a repeated cycle. I feel like the universe is bringing this back to kind of say, hey, stop wasting your time with people who don't value you, because the Four of Cups is wasted time. It is feeling taken for granted. It's apathy. And it's almost like, hey, you know what? Before you left me, or before, I did everything to keep certain people in my life or keep people happy or placate people. I'm not doing it anymore. So now my ship is sailing. And if you want to be a part of my life, good luck, because it's interesting that I just said this about how, excuse me, you're kind of kicking people to the curb, or you're just saying, being very selective with people that you keep in your life. And I just realized as I'm thinking about that, this person is like dumping cups off and just saying, no, like Aquarius is given all they have. And like, sometimes people are life suckers, blood suckers, like, and I feel like you're finally finding some sort of balance or abundance here, and you're not willing to let it go. You also have water like crazy. So you could be dealing with Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. The next card you have is your immediate past, over the past few weeks, past month or two, and you have the Sun. The Sun is solutions. Okay. Well, it means a lot of different things, but one of the things the Sun represents is solutions. And this for me is big in your reading, because this says you've come to your conclusion about certain things you're not going to budge on. Cross watchers, don't freak out. And this can be reversed, but I read for the sign that I read in the direction of the sign that I'm reading for. But the Sun is also clarity. It's also a fog lifted. It's insightfulness. It's, seeing things for what they truly are. And I feel like that's why the solutions is so important here, because this is saying you may have already made up your mind, Aquarius, that, hey, I could never date this person again. Or if we were to get back together again, I could see us getting back together again. But this is what would need to happen. Like, we would need to have, they keep telling me you need to have a come to Jesus. So whoever this is that you're dealing with, you need to have a come to Jesus with, because I feel like you guys start to go there, or you start to find solutions, or you start to figure things out. And then it just kind of takes a cycle and ends up in the dumps again. But the sun says that you've had, sorry, my cat is walking on papers next to me. So if you hear that, sorry. The sun is saying, look, this is clear-sightedness. This is hope. So I don't feel like you've necessarily lost hope in this situation, but what you've gained is self, or what you're starting to gain is self. Again, I think it's going to last to the end of the year. Some of you are probably like, I'm not there yet. I'm still trying to figure out what I want. I'm still trying to, but I think slowly you're moving in the direction of self-preservation with the sun. You haven't given up hope on love. You haven't given up hope that, oh, I'll never find anybody. And some of you are like, a fuck, Dark Dove. That's where I'm at. I don't want anybody, whatever. And I get it, but you haven't. Don't kid yourself. Like, there's still this little piece in your head that's saying, which is good. And I think it's going to expand and get bigger, which is saying, I deserve something good. I deserve someone good. I deserve a good life. Now, to be fair, you also contribute to that. We all have to contribute to that tenfold, because we can choose to allow people to manipulate us, or we can choose to allow people to stay in our lives longer than they've overstayed their welcome, basically, right? And I never say, hey, it's your fault or my fault, or like it's a twofer, okay? And I use this saying a lot, which seems to resonate with people this month, especially, is that, first time shame on me, first time shame on you, second time shame on me. And I think this is where you've realized who's overstayed their welcome, who you might invite or allow back in, and who you would kick to the curb again if they ever contacted you again. All right. But there they come, right? The next card you have, and they're like flooding in. All of a sudden I see like the floodgates opening. This is your distant future card, and you have the Six of Cups. Again, water sign energy all over here. The sun sometimes represents Leo, just depending. But the Six of Cups is reminiscence. It's often considered a reconciliation card, or somebody from the past coming in. I feel like you may have a few people from the past coming in. This could include friends or family. I really do feel like, Aquarius, you all of a sudden had this freaking moment where you went, what the hell am I doing? Like, cutting you off the list. I'm done. I'm not dealing with you. Some of you even up and changed jobs or moved towns or whatnot. I really feel like some of you had to have this like life affirming change, this life moment of, what am I doing? I'm not happy. This isn't where I saw myself 10 years ago. I'm finally going to go after my goals. However, you do have people coming back. I do feel like a significant person, somebody you may have had a karmic connection with, somebody that you still have a strong connection with, you still have feelings for, but maybe you've put in that back pocket because you've had this blockage of energy where you're like, I'm not entertaining this type of behavior from anybody anymore. And that includes this person that you have possibly this karmic or soulmate connection with. And I feel like other people, it's really strange. I feel like you're on top of your game, and now people are going to come back in and test the waters and see if you're willing to have a conversation, if you're willing. But at the same time, I feel like they're realizing like, oh shit, what did I do? This is a really bad move. Or, this was like the straw that broke the camel's back. I totally screwed this up. And now this person now Aquarius may never talk to me again. The next card you have, is your immediate future. So throughout the month of November, you're not done, huh, Aquarius? Still cleaning house, still clearing up messes, still trying to figure out. For some of you, there's like triangles. And I don't even know that it's a love triangle or a third party. For some of you, it may be. But for others of you, it's like your like significant other, your ex, or this person you were connected with, you either have similar friends or you were really close to their family. And so like there's people being cut off. It's he said, she said, da 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 da. And like there's drama and you're just done with it because you have the Six of Swords here. You have two sixes, so they may be significant for some reason. But the Six of Swords is saying you're leaving a situation or abandoning it. It's retreat. Now, it could be travel. So you could be traveling the holidays or whatnot. But the Six of Swords is literally leaving a situation and just cutting it off and being like, nope, not now. So it may be that you still need time to figure out what it is you want before you get wrapped up in this cycle again. There's a reconciliation or something happening here with a lover or family or friends or all of the above, but I don't know in November that you're ready for it with that Six of Swords, because that's still you leaving. Now, for some of you, again, it could still just represent travel, but there's a strong presence of, I'm taking off, I'll see ya. The next card you have, or I'm not ready to bring you back, so I'm still staying kind of far away. The next card you have is anything tangible that's going to happen throughout the month. Could be the beginning, middle, end, could last for a day, a week. You have Temperance. This goes along with this very well. Temperance is balance. It's patience. It's moderation. Okay. It also represents Sagittarius. So you could be dealing with a Sag or have Sag placements in your chart, but Temperance is just patience. It's believing in what's supposed to happen will happen. It's moderation. So I do feel like if you are communicating with your ex or these people that have kind of been kicked to the curb for like reasons that were extremely vouchable, like you had every reason to do this. I think with Temperance though, this is saying you may tolerate the communication, and this isn't conceited. So cross watchers is not like, oh, you're tolerating me. I'm not saying that. It's more they may communicate with you and you reciprocate it, but you are not running back into somebody's arms, jumping in saying, I love you, I miss you, I love you, I miss you. Now, some of you may, but I feel like you're guarded. And I feel like it's because you're working on yourself, trying to figure out what it is you want. And Temperance is saying, have patience. If it's supposed to happen, it'll happen. Look, if you moved on for 5 years from somebody you thought was your soulmate or your karmic connection, doesn't mean in 5 years you can't have them. I've told this story a few times. I don't know who I've told it to, but a close friend of mine was together with somebody for like 3 years, and they separated. They thought they'd be together forever. They separated, and like 2 years later, they reconnected. And I don't even remember how they reconnected. None of that was what I thought about. What I thought about was the end result. They're now married, and it's been like 10 or 12 years, and they have 2 kids. So everything is divine timing. If you're supposed to have this, you will. And I feel like you know that. And so you're patiently just kind of waiting all the bullshit out. Maybe wading through the bullshit to get to the real end of what you deserve. The next card you have is how you're feeling throughout the month. Could be the beginning, middle, end. You have the Five of Cups. So again, you have water energy, just crazy. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. The Five of Cups though is loss. It's a sadness, but it also represents people not paying attention. It could be a loss that could be prevented, or that doesn't even need to happen, but because communication sucks, because you guys aren't communicating, there's just this feeling of loss. It's a solitude. Now, this is sadness, grief, but I don't feel like this is carrying on very long, because I think you've come to like a really good place. I feel like this is something that you may realize, oh, hey, by the way, you and I, we won't make it. You and I will never, like this may be an energy that happens, and hopefully it lasts for like 30 seconds of your entire month. But at some point, I think you're going to realize there are some people in your life worth keeping, worth giving another chance, and some people not. And I feel like some of you are going to come to the conclusion of this person is not worthy and this person is, and there's going to be some sadness here. Again, I feel like there's a connection here. This could be for very few of you, but there's something going on with like your ex. And I don't think it's kids, okay? And some of you could be kids, like you're going through a divorce or you're separated and you guys have kids together, but I don't feel a child energy very much. It's more of like, but I love his or her kids, or I love his or her parents, or I love his or her family, and I was part of their family, or they were part of my family. So like, not only are you not with this person, but you're missing out on other people. But then some of you may have found that they've betrayed you as well. Or if you guys have mutual friends, some people took sides. Does that make sense? Because I feel like there's a group here, not like a third party. Some of you, yes, maybe a third party, but this feels bigger than that. Like you have emotional ties to other people because of this ex, and it's hard not to be able to have those connections because you and your ex are not communicating or not seeing each other. All right. Your hopes or fears for the outcome of the month is the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is capability. It's stamina. It's like, you have no idea what I'm capable of. And that's the thing I think that you're going to thrive on and continue to thrive on throughout the end of the year, is that, like, it's kind of like, no, I got this. Like, I can handle this. I know what I'm doing. This isn't whatever, what doesn't kill me makes me stronger type scenario. And I feel like this is huge for you, because this is you saying, I'll strive and survive. Like, regardless, if we get back together, then we'll have some heavy conversations. We'll have some things to talk about. We'll have to find some solutions. And that's great. We had great times. I reminisce. I think about you in a positive light. But the 9 of Wands is saying, either way, I'm going to be just fine. The next card you have is your outcome. And you have the Devil. All right. Don't get freaked out, because the Devil doesn't have to be the Devil. It can be Capricorn, or you could have Capricorn placements in your chart, because the Devil represents Capricorn. But the outcome is dropping toxicity, dropping addictions, dropping some sort of, somebody who's very jealous. I feel like this kind of represents an energy surrounding this person or some people. Again, it could be friends or family, because I'm getting like ties in lots of different directions. But I feel like the outcome here is that some of you are dropping this toxic situation. And again, when I said the 6 of Swords, like, you're not done, maybe this person had addictions or mental, problems that need to be figured out, that they need to get help for. And so this Devil's saying that for some of you, this person has not dropped this toxicity yet, or together you guys are toxic, and right now you just can't come together. Again, with the 6 of Swords is still leaving a situation or abandoning a situation, I don't know that you're ready to go back to it. Now, in the future, I feel like you may pick up and be ready to, but the Devil's telling me some of you haven't cleared the air yet. And so you're not quite sure, what to do. You're not quite sure that you can go back to it. And for some of you, it is toxicity, is like, a third party, or lies, cheating, that kind of stuff. Now, the outcome clarifying card, 2 clarifying cards. You have the Chariot. Okay. The Chariot is Cancer's card, and you have water all over. So Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. I mean, you could be dealing with any sign, but there's very strong water presence here. And that's Cancer's card, which is the Chariot. And the Chariot doesn't move unless both horses are going in the same direction. Now, relationships are hard. They don't work 100%. It's not always, you can't fix them 100%. You're not always going to agree on everything. The road is bumpy, okay? And the Chariot moves on a bumpy road sometimes, and that's fine. But the Chariot is forward movement. So whether you're moving forward with or without them, you're making forward strides in life, period. And this is self-identification. This is wisdom. This is self-belief. And so the Chariot's saying, look, either you're with me or you're not. Like, either you believe in me or you don't. Either we're heading in the same direction or we're not. Because for some of you, maybe you wanted kids and they didn't. Or for others of you, maybe you wanted to get married and they didn't. Whatever it is. Or you at one point were on the same path, and right now you just kind of fell off and you're not on that path anymore, if that makes sense. Now you have the 9 here, which is strength. The 9, which is strength. Well, strength, which is 9, which is Leo's card, which is interesting. I was talking about the sun possibly representing a Leo. But strength is patience, which you have patience here. And strength is strength, but it's also self-confidence and self-belief. Ties similar into the Temperance card. So I just feel like you're going to wait on this. I just feel like you're not going to make a decision anytime soon on this person. I feel like in the future, there's a good chance you guys are going to come back together. But I feel right now with this Devil and then the Chariot and strength, it's kind of like I have strength to move forward without this person because I know they haven't cleared their energy. And again, it doesn't mean that it has to be something like, oh, they're addicts or they're jealous or conniving or anything, which this can represent. But for a lot of situations, it's not that. It's just more, you guys aren't good for each other right now. And that's what they keep telling me. It's not over. It's not over till it's over. But right now, I don't think this situation is going anywhere. Right now, I don't feel like it's, I don't feel like right now is the time. I feel like it may be towards like the end of the year, the beginning. And I know this is kind of the end of the year, but you get what I'm saying, like the end, or the beginning of next year. The next card you have for clarifying your distant future with this reconciliation is the 7 of Swords. And see, that makes me a little, that tells me a little bit more about the story, that you're not ready to forgive. You're not ready to feel this person out, because this is deception, strategy, manipulation, solitude. You'd rather be alone than be fooled. And I feel like maybe this person pulled the wool over your eyes, or they jerked you around, and and there's like an embarrassment here. Something where it was like, you guys knew this was going on, or maybe you broke up with them because things weren't feeling right and now they're spreading rumors or lie. It's just, there's something deceitful here, and that's crowning your distant future. And that may be why you're hesitant to reconcile. Yes, I feel like there's a reconciliation or a coming together happening. I feel like they're going to communicate with you either like sooner than later, but there's not going to be the reconciliation for like another 2 or 3 months, or the possibility of a reconciliation for the next few months, because you don't trust them. There's something here you don't believe in. You're not interested in. You're just kind of like, yeah, I don't think so. The next card you have, clarifying your distant future, is the King of Cups. Okay. And the King of Cups is about somebody who is very calm, very counseling. It's almost like maybe you go to couples counseling or something, if that makes sense, because this is the King of Cups is somebody who's very calm, cool, collected. They're listening to what you have to say. Maybe that's what it comes down to. Maybe you have to finally listen to what they say. Maybe they finally persuade you and say, hey, by the way, like, I need you to listen to what I have to say. I love you. I care about you. Because for a lot of you, I feel like you're not having any contact with them. Like I said, I feel like you may have cut off a few different people, but this one person in particular may persuade you to listen to them, or may persuade you in saying, look, things have calmed down. That's okay. That's what they're telling me. That's what feels, they're basically like, hey, like, things have calmed down. It's the calm after the storm. So literally, for whatever reason, it's saying, hey, by the way, there is a chance that you guys can make this work, but you have to let it cool off. I feel like right now there's a lot of anger and frustration, humiliation. Somebody was humiliated, or something doesn't feel good about this. Well, obviously you're probably like, fuck, Dark Dove. Of course it doesn't feel good, but you get my drift. Like, there's something else going on here that just expresses, hey, now is not the time. Now is not feeling like the time to forgive and forget. So, whoa, like every card in my deck just flew off the side of the table. That was insane.